Hare Krishna. So, we have new faces coming. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to Sunday program. And we had some wonderful festivals last week. Materially exhausted, spiritually rich. Yeah? So, yeah, it looks like they don't go hand in hand. You rich in one, poor in the other. But it's okay, because spirituality is eternal. Whatever you gained, you will keep forever. Whatever you lost materially, well, you'll gain that as well. You just eat and sleep, it'll come back. But yeah, spiritually, you carry it with you. It's yours to keep. So well done, surviving that. It's a hectic week. And Prabhuji, he's been to all the dhams and everything. Oh, amazingly. Let's give him Haribo. Haribo. And I said, hey, Prabhu, that he's taken the family to Ayodhya and Vrindavan and Jagannath Puri.
Not Jagannath.
Puri.
Kashi.
Next time, Kashi. Amazing. So you asking Mataji to sing Jagannath Puri, so maybe. You know.
So we still think of doing Jagannath Puri and Mayapur together next time.
Nice. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So now, as you know, we have a devotee's birthday celebration later on. I won't tell you how old she is. But anyway, let's, for now, have a Bhagavad-Gita class with Radharani Ratiprada and Rohit. Prabhu, would you like to introduce your mother? So many nice things.
You insist. Right, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Before I introduce the speaker, I do see a few new faces, so for those of you who did not come earlier on, you probably, I'm looking at you particularly, you would have realized that there was a particular chant that was going on repetitively. You might be wondering what we were actually saying. So we were reciting the Maha Mantra. That is known as the great chant for this age, where we connect with the Lord. So we're always, how we understand is that we are always maintained by the Lord, maintained by Krishna, and we're trying to reestablish our loving relationship with Him. This is why we always chant this particular mantra. So we have a mutual relationship, as opposed to we being selfish and we just taking from Krishna, as opposed to, in this case, we are, He serves us, we serve Him. So I'm going to ask everybody to repeat after me, yourself included as well. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Okay, well done. Okay, now on to our esteemed speaker today, Her Grace Radharani Ratiprada Mataji. Now, normally you would see her maybe looking at the arti, sometimes cooking, sometimes organizing. In other words, whatever is necessary, she will do it. And that's important because when you're serving Krishna, it's not about what I want to do, my particular favorite service, or I want glory. It's about what Krishna wants, and that is, like I said before, that is the mutual loving service. You do what Krishna wants, and because Krishna understands what you need as well, so it works together, it all fits. Sometimes when you think to yourself, why am I doing this? Then something will happen where, actually, this is why I'm doing this, because it makes sense. I can do material things and try and make a lot of money, but then the money goes and I'm miserable, and then so I go back to square one. With this, you can keep doing this, you keep chanting whenever and wherever. And that's something we can learn from our speaker as well, because she will, even when she's unhappy, she'll still keep serving. And then her mood will change, and then she'll be like, oh, actually, I'm really enjoying this. I'm like, what happened? Krishna happened. So I'll pass on to our speaker. We can, first, of course, we can have 3 Haribols for her.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
So we'll sing Radha Mada first, as we do, before the start of the class. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari,
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari,
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jai Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. invoke the presence of the Lord before we start the class. So if you've got Bhagavad-Gita, you can open the Bhagavad-Gita, or if you've got phones, you can look on the database. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Datati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Guru Krishnam Shri Pam Sakra Chantam Sarkana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sargana Raghunathan Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So we'll be trying to discuss the shlok number 37 from chapter 3 of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Mukam karati vachalam pangum langhete girim yat kripatamam vande Shri Gurum Dintarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om. So if you would like to repeat after me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidya Enam Iha Veridam Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidya Enam Iha Veridam. So, if anybody would like to repeat, say the shloka, please do.
Is it 337? 337.
Prabhu?
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidhi Enam Iha Vairinam.
Okay. The word-to-word meaning of this shloka is Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the personality of Godhead said, Kamaha, lust, Eshaha, this, Krodhaha, wrath, Eshaha, this, Rajaha, guna, the mode of passion, Samudbhava, born of, Maha Ashana, all devouring, Mahapapama, greatly sinful, Vidhi, no, Enam, this, Iha, in the material world, Veridam, the greatest enemy. And the translation of this verse goes like this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjun, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion, and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So it's only got a small purport. We'll quickly go through this purport. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When a living entity comes in contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion, or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust, as milk in contact with the sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath. Wrath, which is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity. And it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wrath is the manifestation of the mode of ignorance. These modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. If therefore the mode of passion, instead of being degraded into the mode of ignorance, is elevated to the mode of goodness by the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded Himself into many for His ever-increasing spiritual bliss. And the living entities are parts and parcels of this spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but by misuse of their independence, I repeat, but by the misuse of their independence, when the service attitude is transformed into the propensity for sense enjoyment, they come under the sway of lust. This material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to the conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities. And when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entities begin to inquire about their real position. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Athato Brahma Jigyasa. One should inquire into the Supreme, and the Supreme is defined in Srimad Bhagavatam as Janmadi Asya Yato Anvayad Itaratash Cha, or the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, the origin of lust is also in the Supreme. If therefore lust is transformed into love for the Supreme, or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the great servitor of Lord Ram, exhibited his wrath by burning the golden city of Ravan, but by doing so he became the greatest devotee of the Lord. Here also in Bhagavad-Gita, the Lord induces Arjuna to engage his wrath upon his enemies for the satisfaction of the Lord. Therefore, lust and wrath, when they are employed in Krishna consciousness, become our friends instead of our enemies. So sounds very simple, but yes, there is lust which comes from the Lord Krishna Himself. It's everything which we have is there in Lord Krishna. It's coming through Lord into us, because we are the part and parcels of the Lord. Now it sounds also very easy when we hear Prabhupada's purport that yes, we can transform that lust into love. Lust doesn't just mean, attraction between a male and a female. Lust means all the desires which originate in all of us as jivas, as we are. And in this world, everyone is afflicted by lust. Do we all agree? Yes, we all have this. And now we have to restrain the senses and divert the spiritual form to divert these desires into spiritual form, into spiritual desires, to conquer them. And how it is possible? It is only possible, like all of you have gotten up from your beds this morning with the desire, with the intent to attend this Sunday Sangha, come to do some devotional service. So each one of us is doing some devotional service in our own capacity here. Some of us, we brought the deity, some of us, we cooked some bhoga in the morning, some of us, we arranged the chairs, and all of us actually are going to listen to what Prabhupada is trying to tell us in this verse of Shri Krishna, And again, we all participated in the Kirtan. So devotional service is not one is in one type. It is manifold. There are so many angas of the devotional service. So we can do anyone which is which we are capable of, or which we are asked to do by our fellow devotees, which is required to do, that becomes devotional service. We all devote ourselves to our families in our life, to our work, to our desires. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. So in this verse, like Prabhupada said, we haven't got to do much. All we have to do is change those desires, spiritualize them, bring Krishna in those desires, and somehow go on doing devotional service to Krishna. So devotional service becomes so easy when Krishna comes into our lives. So what we have to do this? First of all, we have been given this body, we all know, and then we also have been given mind and intelligence. So we have to employ our buddhi, like we say in Hindi and Sanskrit, or in English it is intelligence. So we have to employ our intelligence to come here into this platform of devotional service. So do you think that this body is going to make us happy? Just the body? Just looking after this body, just fulfilling all the needs of this body, all the desires which come to us. Is this going to make us happy? Do you think? Just doing that, does it make us happy? No. We just hanker for more and more. We fulfill one desire, then there are thousands of more desires, hovering around us in the form of, for example, you saw something nice being cooked, or you saw something nice in the shop, or on the television, or on a newspaper, or on a magazine, and you just think, I should have that. So the desires are endless. The desire of this food is just one. There are endless desires. We all know. As we grow from child to youth and to old age, the desires, they don't leave us. They keep on increasing. It's not that they go away. So Krishna is reminding us of our duty in this shloka through Arjuna. Krishna is saying that we have to try not to enjoy our material existence, not to enjoy our temporary stay on this earth, but rather we have to take it as an opportunity to go back to Godhead, or at least go closer to Sri Krishna. So it's a catch-22 situation, like we all hear in all the classes, everyone says. We've got this body, we have to serve with this body, it's a miserable thing, it has to be looked after, and then we have got mind. Mind is also working against us, is not. So we have to make a friend of our mind. How it's going to become a friend? By serving the Lord. And how that is going to come? Is it going to happen you just sitting in your homes just by yourself, and you decide one day that, okay, I'm going to be a devotee of the Lord and this is going to happen? It doesn't happen like that. We need the association. Association of devotees. And association of the devotees is going to bring those right desires into our mind. So we are social animals as human beings, so we need the association. So only then this is going to happen, that good desires are going to come into us. So what happens when the desires are unfulfilled in our lives? What happens? Like you wanted something, you tried once, you tried twice, and you're not able to manifest what you wanted. For example, say material life. What happens?
You get disappointed.
Disappointed, yes.
Anger.
Anger.
Frustration.
Frustration leads to anger. So
Not always. Because if you are that determined, you will get there. So it can be a motivation or a drawback.
yeah,
This is how you take it.
yeah.
So your negativeness doesn't have to be always negative, and your reluctance to improve can mean that you have to look at yourself, reassess yourself, and move forward.
Yeah.
And that is what the Lord gives you.
Yes, exactly.
Take it for what it is. Sometimes we are given the opportunity. We don't recognize it. He gives you the opportunity. It's up to you to take that opportunity and take it forward.
Yes. So it's coming back to the shloka. So in this shloka, Bhagavan is telling Arjun that Kama Esha Krodh Esha, that this lust and this wrath is coming from mode of passion. So what is the thing in us, or what is that which induces us to anger or desire in the first place? As jivas, we are living in the material world. Yeah, we all agree. And there are three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. The Satagun, the Rajagun, and the Tamogun. These three modes are always affecting us. Because in this material world, Bhagwan has his energy as Durga Devi. And Durga Devi has got three prongs. We see the picture of Durga Devi. She's got the Trishul, has got three prongs. And three prongs, they indicate the Rajagun, Satagun, and Tamogun. So she is going to help us. She is there to help us in our lives. Now it's up to us that which mode we are going to be following, or which mode is actually prominent in us, and which mode we are going to feed in ourselves. That mode is going to, sort of pave the way for our devotional service in our life. If we are in mode of ignorance, we will not get up. We'll be lazy. We'll be just not ready to do anything, even for ourselves, like cook for ourselves or eat, or even, look after yourself. If you're in mode of passion, everyone is running around all around us. Go, 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 go. Achieve this, achieve that. Not enough. And then soon you realize the time is ticking by. We are not getting younger. So, mode of goodness, we all have to aspire to be into if we want to do the bhakti. Mode of goodness is when you are leading a regulated life. Then you are going to be in the mode of goodness. But is the mode of goodness enough? No. We have to come to the pure mode of goodness, which is then only we can do the bhakti, because then we understand that our position is of a servant. We are here to do something for Lord. We'll be asking ourselves, what is the purpose of my life? So, if the desires are unfulfilled, the anger arises. Krishna says to Arjun that desires, the lust, which is going to make the way for anger in a person. And what happens when somebody is angry? You can't think properly. You get so embarrassed after you have been angry the next day, or in the next hour, or in the next minute, when you realize that that wasn't me. I wouldn't have reacted like this to situation. I've been always told to respond, but something happens that we just say something or behave in a way that we sometimes say, it wasn't my action, it's not me. Why? Because it is the modes of material nature that energy of the Lord which affects such, which is actually we are working with that only, that affects us to behave in such a way. And so we need the right association to begin with. And even in the material world, we all know, we say man is known by the company he keeps. So the lust is going to bind us into this material world, and all we are going to be wanting is to enjoy the senses and enjoy ourselves. Like Prabhupada, if you have read Bhagavad-Gita in purports, Prabhupada said you would like to lord over the material energy. And if you have read Bhagavad-Gita, you become so familiar with part and parcel. We are the part and parcel, and we want to lord over the material energy. So unfulfilled passion leads to wrath, or the anger, and ignorance is of the lowest quality among all the modes of material nature. So we have to go beyond the goodness to come into bhakti. So then only we can say that we are aspiring to be Krishna conscious. When we say Krishna conscious, like a founder Acharya of this movement, Srila Prabhupada, he said that we have to aspire to become Krishna conscious 24/7 all the time in our lives. Not just for the moment, not just for the time when we are in the Sunday Sangha or when we are in association, but we have to try to live our lives in such a way. He hasn't told us that abandon everything, go and sit in the forest and just be renunciates. No, he says, do your duties as family people, as students, whichever stage of life you are, but please bring Krishna into your life, become Krishna conscious. So this is the message Bhagavan is giving to us. Now Prabhupada has always stressed, everywhere in his purports, in his talks, in his classes. Prabhupada says in the purport of chapter 18, verse 66, which is the very famous verse, which is like the gist of Bhagavad-Gita. And Bhagavan says to Arjun, Sarv Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarpapebhyo Mokshayishami Mashucha. Bhagavan says to Arjun that abandon all kinds of religion and come into my shelter. And I am going to forgive all your sins. But that doesn't mean Bhagavan says he is going to forgive all our sins, that we have got the license to commit more sins. Bhagavan says, if you start doing my bhakti, if you become my devotee, if you become devoted to me, I'm going to make your life in such a way, I'm going to design your life in such a way that after the end of this life, you'll be able to come to me. Like famously Bhagavan says that, so how are we going to go to Bhagavan? Like Prabhu is sitting here, he must be wondering, what's the guarantee? In Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says to Lord Krishna, says to Arjun in chapter 6 that we have to do the devotional service in such a way, bhakti in such a way, remember God in such a way, serve Him in such a way, so that towards the end of our life, when the final time comes, when we are going to quit this world, we are going to leave this body here, our soul is going to continue into the journey, because soul is eternal. We might get old, we might leave this body, but the journey of the soul is going to continue. So He is going to give us that memory, and in those situations, in the form of devotees, in the form of some kirtan going on in the background, in the form of our children doing something for us, in the form of, whatever we have done in this life or the past lives, some magic will happen, and somehow we will be able to remember Lord. Though we all know those moments are really, really difficult. It is even unthinkable that something like this can happen, but Lord assures us, and we have to believe it. And we have heard from our seniors, we have heard from our acharyas that this happens, and we have seen actually in many devotees instances, and we have seen in our families as well, how we have seen, these times. So we have to take the shelter of Lord Krishna. That is one thing we have to do. God has provided us everything in this life. Do you agree? Everything is there. Because so many of us are here in this universe, so every jiva has got different desire. So accordingly, everything has been manifested by Lord. If it's not available in our country, in some other country it is available. If it's not available in our city, in somewhere else it is available. So He has designed the world in such a way that we all can live our life very nicely. But what is the caveat? Lord says to Arjun, do my bhakti. Don't just, entertain your senses. Don't just keep on fulfilling your senses, your desires, but bring me into the picture. That's all Lord is asking us. So these modes are called gunas in Hindi. Modes are gunas. They're ropes. They entangle us to this material world. They bind us to this material world. Many people we hear outside, what they say? We will do the bhakti, we'll think of the Lord when we are old. At the moment, I'm very much into passion. I'm looking after my family. I've got so much responsibility. No, but when we come to Krishna consciousness, or we have seen so many examples in Shastras as well, like this Lord Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, the only 5-year-old devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, the stories are there, how they achieved that. And we see in our congregation as well, when devotees bring the young children, they play the instruments, they sing the kirtan, they help their parents in cooking, the bhoga for the Lord, decorating, and they do all those activities at home as well. So the practice has to start at the grassroots level. You know, when we want to make somebody very good at tennis, or for example, there's a prodigy in your house or in someone's house, the child is very good at doing something. We start them young. So they practice, and one day become legends. So similarly, bhakti also works like that. We have to do it. We don't have to force it on ourselves, or we don't have to, take it as a rigid regime. Do it in our own capacity. Whatever we can do, we can offer something, some fruit, some water. It has to start from somewhere. Do some kirtan for Lord for 5 minutes a day, or read the Bhagavad-Gita, one shloka perhaps a day. Do something, from at some level this bhakti has to begin. So who has to do that? Lord has given us all the facilities. Maya Devi, Durga Devi has given us all the riches. Everything is, we are living in the West. Our lives are much, much different than, in some other parts of the world, where it's so much trying that they have to work so hard just for the 2 square meals. But we have got everything. All we have to do is just to bring Lord. When we are cooking in our house, when we are decorating, we just think that, oh, this corner is where I'm going to have my temple, I'm going to do shopping, I'm going to buy some fruits for the Lord this week. And there's endless opportunities, but it has to start from somewhere. But we have to be consistent with it. That is something we have to do. Lord is not going to do for us. He has given us all the facilities, and He wants us to be top students, and we can do top bhakti and have the right environment. So we have to increase the intensity of our devotion and the service, and we have to turn our lust into love for Lord. The lust shouldn't be just for me and myself and my senses, it has to be for the Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a famous shloka, Akamaha sarva kamova moksha kama udaradih tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta paramam purusha. This is from 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, verse 10. So whatever Lord has given us, materially or otherwise, non-materially, or we have the desires of liberation, we have to worship the Lord. So in this shloka, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavan is clearly saying that whatever we have, whatever situation we have, either we are too much into material life or non-material, or we're just looking for liberation, we have to worship the Lord to get out of this. Whether we like it or not, whether we say that there's no God, but we do, even the atheists, they say there is a power. So we all know, we agree that there is something, even if we don't believe in Lord. So how is this going to happen? It's going to happen through the association. Krishna has come in the form of Mahamantra, like we were singing before we started the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what will happen if we don't utilize this birth, this opportunity we have, this association we are having with us? If we don't utilize this, then what's going to happen? We are going to come back to this life again and again, either as human or maybe as a dog. There's 8.4 million species around us, and according to our last desires, when we are quitting this body, we will be given the next body. So like we've all heard that at the present moment, we are designing our next body. So it sounds very weird that we are designing our body, we are the designers of our own destiny, and it all starts from the thought. Now, we will all say, like Mataji was saying, when we have anger, Mataji says that yes, we don't have to get angry, we can use that as a motivation to do better, but not everyone will be that motivated. Many will fail, and we all have failed. We can vouch that we wanted to achieve something and we couldn't, and we got miserable. It happens. That's how Krishna encourages us. Your failure is actually your best friend. Failure tells us to do better. Failure reminds us that this is not the be-all, end-all. Maybe there's something better waiting for me. So, like in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that Hanumanji applied his anger to set fire to Ravan's Lanka. Ravan was a non-devotee. He wasn't devotee of Lord. He did all the opposite. First of all, he snatched Mother Sita. He was totally oblivious. He was not a devotee at all. Then what happened? Hanumanji set fire to Ravan's Lanka when he went to meet Mother Sita with Lord Rama's ring. When he was provoked, what he did? He set fire. So Hanumanji used his anger for the higher cause. So what we see in our society, we hear that people are ransacking this place, that place, some social unrest has happened. But this is in mode of ignorance. But we can utilize our anger in a for higher cause in a better way. So glass is never half empty, it is always half full. There's always hope. And also in Bhagavad-Gita we see Arjun, after understanding Krishna's desire in Bhagavad-Gita, what he did? He got ready to fight in Mahabharata, in the battle of Mahabharata. So these two are prime examples that how anger can be utilized for higher purpose. Now Arjun asked Krishna that in life, though I know the best course of action, what is that drives me time and time again to act inappropriately and against my good intelligence? And does this sound familiar? Like we were discussing in the beginning, it happens to us all the time, isn't it? The inherent quality of the soul is to love and serve selflessly. We all do. If we are not serving the Lord, what we are doing, either we're serving at home, serving our children, serving ourselves, serving the job, serving the society. But Lord is is somewhere, He just comes up on certain festivals in our heads. On those days, we are so determined to serve Him nicely. But no, we have to have Him in the forefront always. And we can serve Him easily, without trying, if we just remember that. But we have to remember, because our minds are very fickle. Our minds, they like us to do what we don't. The inner voice will say something else to us. But the mind will take us into a completely different direction. The mind will say, enjoy yourself. You can do this tomorrow. But we have to do this service every day, every moment of our lives. Lust is more subtle. It is not precisely described than wrath. Can we see anybody's desire clearly? No. But wrath or anger, it is clearly visible. So when we see some anger in someone, we should just say to ourselves, it was some desire which has converted into wrath or anger. So anger is visible so clearly in anyone around us, but desires or lust, that is not. But that anger is also coming from lust or the desire. So lust is compared to fire. Anger, we know, like in Hindi you must have heard, aag babula ho gaya gusse se. We've heard those words. So anger is like fire. It will make you burn, not just you, but the person you are getting angry with, they're also going to suffer the intensity of that wrath. We can control our enemy with words, gifts, position, or finally with a punishment. Okay. Now, Mahapapam, the words are used in this verse. Mahapapam means the mightiest enemy. And most of these ordinary methods will not defeat it, like we said, trying to use the words, gifts, position. They are not going to control the wrath. Because the desire is coming from mode of passion. So we have to meticulously avoid the Rajagun, Prabhupada says. This is something we have to do. We have to use the mode of passion to work, to get up in the morning, to, do the housework or go and do our jobs. We need that energy in the day. But in between, when we are having breaks, when we are having our food, we can offer it to the Lord and have the prasad. So there are always opportunities for us to work for the Lord simultaneously. Now, if I ask you that, make a list of things you get by coming to Krishna consciousness. Just make, just think of one or two things in your heads. Can you think of something which you got after coming into Krishna consciousness? Could you raise your hand if you think what you got after coming to Krishna consciousness?
Everything.
Be a little bit more specific.
A lot more peace.
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
Peace. Anything else?
Earlier it was like we didn't know what we were living for. Your life was just carrying on.
Yeah.
Even if we don't achieve our goal in this lifetime, at least it gives us the satisfaction that we are on the right path. We are, coming to association. Earlier also weekends were spent in, parties or going around with friends and stuff. At least here, if you're coming for a little while or something, even it gives us a peace of mind that, this is time well spent. So we're still having the same joy, but it's just, it's just nice.
So you will agree that we are living the lives like we were living before, but we are living with more satisfaction, and we have got more peace in our life.
Yeah.
So yes, Mataji.
We get knowledge. We didn't have no knowledge when we were not in Krishna consciousness. We got all the knowledge about Krishna, living entities, material nature. That's what great about this common and coming Krishna conscious knowledge.
Absolutely. So Prabhu was saying that we got peace. Mataji was saying that we got more satisfaction in our day-to-day life, and Mataji says that we got knowledge. We had all the knowledge that this is Newton's law, this is of gravitational force, or if you whichever field you are masters of, psychology, physics, engineering, everything you know. But most of us didn't know that we are actually souls. We all were saying we are body. We were identifying more with our body because it is visible, and soul is covered. So soul is the one which connects us to the higher supreme. So we've got so much after coming to Krishna consciousness.
Something else?
Yes, Mataji.
I just wanted to say something on the lines that Nitya Sri Mataji said, that it has given purpose to our life as well. Because earlier, obviously we know we might not achieve that goal in this lifetime, but at least we know what is the purpose of our life here. That it is we know that we are parts and parcels of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and our purpose is to serve Him. So at least we are trying to work on that, trying to get in the association of the devotees and trying to learn something. So that has given some meaning to our life and our purpose.
Yes. So it all started with the inquest, Mataji.
I'm not involved in your consciousness, but I am Krishna Bhagwan's partner. And for me, he's been in my life from day one. And without him, I'm nothing. That's how I see it. Because he's the one that guides me. He's the one that tells me what to do. I don't know what he does every day, but for every day, he's the one that tells me, you do this today, you do this today. Even now, I don't know why, he's sitting on my shoulder here, sending me, pushing me this way, pushing me that way. That's how I see my life.
Yes. Like we're saying that if you read Prabhupada's Bhagavad-Gita as it is in the purpose, Prabhupada always says we are the part and parcels. We are the part and, what does part and parcels mean? Our soul belongs to the Lord, and in each one of us. He's sitting here as super soul. He is the super soul. He's available in different forms and to all of us he's available as a super soul, as Paramatma.
This is why I say I'm very blessed because of it.
Yes, we all are blessed, and we should share these blessings with others. If you've got it, we should, and we become rich by sharing. Yes, and it's so nice to see you. What's your name, Mataji?
Sharon.
Thank you for coming.
We didn't know that Gauranitai. Once you turn 12, we had no knowledge about Gauranitai.
Absolutely.
We didn't come to Krishna conscious. Yeah, we didn't know about good Gauranitai, you know. That's the beauty about it, you know. Joining Krishna
Yeah.
conscious, yeah.
We would have never known that Lord came 500 plus years ago in Navadvip, Mayapur, in West Bengal. We would only known as the North Indians, Krishna. I had read, I remember, in childhood, in one of the lessons about Gauranga. Nobody knew around me. And ISKCON, I've been to various cities in India. I've been past the temples, but not inside the ISKCON temple. It only happens when the time is right, when we have come past, all those stairs, all those ladders, which all those paths which we were navigating in the past in our life. When that right moment comes, we are given the entry into this association of devotees. And like I said, it all starts with the association. And once you have the right association, you would be desiring to have the right desires. Like in this verse, Kamesha, Krodesha. The lust, the desire will be to serve Krishna within our capacity in every department of our life. And then we need the intelligence, the buddhi. And that buddhi is given to all of us to discriminate between the wrong and the right desire. It is very important. Because there are always two ways on the road when we are traveling. One is going to take me to, for example, Telford. One is going to take me towards some other side. So if we don't have the right intelligence, we are going to be wasting our time. And you think we have got so much time to waste? No? We get up in the morning, we think we have got 24 hours in the day, and before the day ends, we are very lucky if we are able to do at least 70% for what we decided to do that day. And so we haven't got so much time. So that's why we need our acharyas. The acharyas like Srila Prabhupada and other esteemed acharyas who are there on the altar, sitting there. They have done all the hard work. When somebody else has done all the hard work, why do we have to start doing the research from the grassroots level? So we have to make use of all they have provided us and try to, start our life, start our lives from the bhakti level. We don't have to go from the mode of ignorance to the passion to the goodness and then think that okay, we will start bhakti, and by the time we realize, who knows how many hours are there in the bank of our life on that account. We don't know, and we don't want to be sorry, and we don't want to be coming back and going through these roads again and again, paths again and again, and I'm sure all of us, we have done that. That's why we are sitting in the association of the devotees, and that's why we are here in the Sangha. So when we are going to use our intelligence properly, then what's going to happen? What's going to happen, Prabhu? Anyone? Something is going to come effortlessly to all of us then. Mercy. Right association, we'll have some desires, and with intelligence we'll be able to discriminate the good and the bad desires, the good from the bad, and then when Bhagwan is happy with our bhakti, the mercy will flow. For example, this morning I just had a call that this Prabhu who was going to bring the deities, he's just taken ill, he can't come. And I was like sitting just, I'm going to just go through my notes, what I'm going to speak today. And Krishna, he's magic. He takes the test all the time. And I'm thinking, what do I do? I just send a few messages, and look, we not only have Gauranitai, we have Kamal Mataji's Lalo also here after Janmashtami. So Krishna has his own plans. So we should never get disappointed, disheartened, whatever is happening around us. It's happening for a reason. Krishna decides the best. Krishna sanctions everything which is happening in our life, good or bad. Whether we are able to go into the bhakti nicely, or we are not able to progress like we would like to, but it's all happening through his sanction. So we have to take it as his mercy, the good or bad, but we have to have right desires, and we have to use our intelligence properly, so that we don't, like Arjun is being told, Kamesha Krodesha, we don't want to have those desires which, when unfulfilled, will lead to wrath, will lead to anger, and we'll be just wasting our time. We don't